It's Orioles baseball on Masson on a gorgeous night at Camden Yards. The Orioles and Toronto Blue Jays getting set the middle game of this three-game series. And hi, everyone. I'm Jim Hunter. Thanks for joining us as the Orioles look to build off their exciting 10-inning, 6-5 win last night. It really wasn't a pretty game, but in the end, the Orioles did what they needed to do, and they outscored the Jays and got the win. Now, Toronto got an early 3-0 lead on a home run off Jeremy Guthrie. The Orioles would chip back, and then in the fifth inning, they would get the lead. Vladimir Guerrero came to the plate, and Guerrero came up big. He got into one and hit a drive to right field. It would go off the scoreboard and go as an RBI double. Adam Jones would come around to score, and that gave the Orioles the lead. Now, in the ninth, Yunel Escobar with a drive to right field, diving stop by Nick Markakis. That would go as a sac fly, but that catch prevented a bigger Toronto rally. And then in the 10th, after falling behind, Jake Fox comes off the bench. His RBI single ties the game, and that set the stage for the rookie. Ryan Adams came up. The winning run was at third. Just looking for a ball to drive to the outfield. He would do so. It would go as a walk-off single over the head of Jose Bautista. Ryan Adams had the game-winning hit, and the Orioles had a 10-inning victory. And, Jim, you look at the game last night, and it really could have gone either way. Both teams probably felt they should have won, but in the end, the Orioles got those big hits and pulled it out.
They really did. I mean, how often do you win a game, Jim, where you throw a 3-run home run, get a blown save, miss 2 sacrifice bunts, drop a pop fly, which almost never happens, fail to cover second or third in the 9th inning so they can tie the ball game, yet you win the ball game. So again, I mean, this is a team that has played really well. All of a sudden, you know, they're pitching a little bit better. Guthrie, even though he gave up the 3-run home run, got out of a bases-loaded jam in the 5th inning. So again, in a small strike zone last night, they worked the walk, and then you get a rookie up there. What does he do well? When we talk about Ryan Adams, he hits the fastball, able to get one, and you get the sacrifice fly. Cal Ripken Sr. said it so well. He said, all you got to do is score more than 1 run than the opposition. I think the Orioles are getting the handle on that.
Well, the Orioles have won 7 out of 9, and one thing they have done consistently during this stretch, they have pitched well.
Well, we saw this last August to September, 17 wins in both of those months. The ERA went down, the offense went up. This year, the ERA's gone down, and look at the offense. So again, I think the critical number is, and this was about, 251. They're about 100 points higher with runners in scoring position. They've gotten them in all, on base all year long, Jim, but now all of a sudden they're getting them in. So again, you pitch well, you start scoring runs, and they're into the American League East. Good time to start doing that.
All right, so I have this right. The game plan for tonight, score 1 more than them.
Well, let's hope they have it right.
We're coming back to Camden Yards. It's the middle game of 3. Put it on the players, say Palmer. We're coming back after this. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. What a gorgeous night it is downtown. Beautiful evening in the Inner Harbor. And the Orioles and Blue Jays getting set for baseball. Tonight's game time temperature is brought to you by Train. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a Train. 80 degrees, just a slight breeze, and 48% is the humidity. So the middle game of 3 as the Blue Jays look to get even. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Toronto. Yunel Escobar, Eric Thames, and Jose Bautista with Adam Lind in the cleanup spot. Edwin Encarnacion will DH. The Kelly Johnson. Brett Laurie at third base. 10 for 27, 3 home runs and 7 ribbies over his last 7 games. That's a heck of a week for the rookie. Jose Molina will catch. Mike McCoy in center field will bat ninth.
And let's take a look at our scouting report for the 26-year-old right-hander. He started the season with Toronto, and again, it's not how you pitch, sometimes it's when you pitch. So he was 0-4 early on, pitching well. ERA of under 5 runs a game, and over his last 14 starts, 7-6 with an ERA closer to 6 runs. Jekyll Hyde, again, it seems bad, good, bad, good. So let's see if he can have some consecutive. Just don't know what you're going to get right there. And then not that friendly. You know, you pitched with him. You started, what, over 20 starts. Well, you know them all, but you got a different uniform on. So just try to, again, pitch well. And the Orioles won him. They thought it was going to be an upgrade. This is a youngster, again, at 26. Got 4 pitches. Hopefully he'll give him some innings. There's a couple of things he has to do. I think Mike Flanagan said it about, what, a month ago. He said his rhythm was really good against the Tigers. He pitched a lot better. Let's see if he's in rhythm tonight.
Now, the one thing that is strange about Jose Reyes here tonight is he actually has a win against the Orioles as he beat the Orioles here on June the 5th. So here is Yunel Escobar leading off. He's got a 3-game hitting streak going. There are 6 right-handed batters and 3 left-handed batters in there against Reyes, who deals high 1-0.
And even if he doesn't get a hit, he's got the highest on-base percentage of any American League shortstop, most walks.
1-1 on the swing and the miss. Well, Yunel Escobar and Jojo Reyes, they go all the way back to the Atlanta days together. They were Braves, both traded to Toronto in that deal for Alex Gonzalez. And now Jojo Reyes is an Oriole, and Yunel Escobar is the leadoff hitter for the Blue Jays. That was on July 14th of last season, right at the All-Star break. 1-2 is in the dirt.
Yeah, not quite close enough to get Yunel to chase it. Jojo Reyes, that last game was one of the 4 wins the Orioles had against the Twins in Minnesota. And he was one of the 4 pitchers that didn't give up over 1 run. Right there's that little cut fastball in, and again against the Tigers, Jim, he was so good down and away, had that good changeup, and that's what he was able to do. But he was coming off some back stiffness, and maybe that's keeping him from getting the ball down. That's where he'd like to be.
And he gets Escobar, who goes upstairs, and Escobar can't reach it.
You know, we've seen Yunel Escobar swing the bat pretty well. He did not swing it well last night. Of course, Jeremy Guthrie pitched well. And right here, he just gets him to chase. So there are lulls. Again, you take advantage. You get to 2 strikes. The guy's not swinging real well, and you make a good pitch.
One thing Jojo is trying to do a better job of, that's pitch efficiency. And Buck Showalter said it before the game today when the Michael Gonzalez trade to the Texas Rangers was announced. He was asked, well, who's going to pitch the 7th inning for you now? And he said, well, hopefully that's the starter. If the starter can get a little bit more pitch efficient, we don't have to worry about the bullpen until the 8th.
Well, you have to be more pitch efficient. You also have to pitch well. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they usually go hand to hand. He doesn't get lefties out particularly well. I mean, righties hit him at 293, or actually 303 with the 17 of the 19 home runs, and then the left-handed number at 293 is a little high.
Fastball inside, 3-1 on Eric Thames.
Well, there's the Jekyll and Hyde again. But again, not a lot of runs scored early on with the Blue Jays, and the Orioles have scored a bunch of runs for them.
And there's a walk. So the second walk, the first walk of the game, comes to the second batter. Well, last night in a game in which the Orioles did make some misplays, they actually had some real fine defensive efforts. Reimold took a possible home run away. And how about this play by Andino? Watching the back end, the scoop by Mark Reynolds, as Reynolds was able to dig it out.
Yeah, Reimold, Jones, Markakis, the initial outfield for the Orioles, Andino, Hardy, Adams, and then Mark Reynolds, as you mentioned, playing really well. A little tight quad, so Matt Wieder's not playing tonight, getting a little time off.
Jose Bautista will take a strike. And there is Mr. Wieder's on the bench. But Showalter said he is likely to be in the lineup tomorrow. He would have caught either tonight or tomorrow. Bautista, high fly ball, a mile high, left side of the infield. Hardy is taking charge, and he has it for the out. And 2 down. So just as everybody was getting to the ballpark this afternoon, this deal became official. Michael Gonzalez traded to the Texas Rangers for a player to be named later. We're told that is likely to be a starting pitcher. Gonzalez, no earned runs in his last 13 appearances, ends up going 2-2 with an ERA of 4.27. And Zach Phillips, who they got from Texas in a prior deal, he has been called up from AAA Norfolk.
Yeah, we kind of saw that. And again, Michael, it took him about 10 months to get healthy, get his windup.
Runner goes, throw to second, and not in time, as Jojo Reyes allowed Eric Thames a huge jump, so he's in scoring position with 2 down.
Yeah, that's another thing that he's going to have to work on. Now 13 stolen bases, only 2 caught, and as a lefty, you're looking at him. Again, it's how quick you get the ball to home plate. That was a terrific play by Craig Tatum, but he just got too good a jump. And who would know him better than Toronto? They saw him pitch.
High fly ball to left. Reimold back as that ball carries. He will get there, reaches up, and he made the catch. Second consecutive night in the first inning. Reimold went back on what he thought was a routine fly ball. It kept on carrying, and he made the play. In the bottom of the first, Southwest Airlines starting lineups for the Birds. Hardy, Markakis, then Adam Jones. Since the All-Star break, 301 average, 9 home runs, and 30 RBIs. Guerrero, Reynolds, and Andino with Reimold in left, and Adams and Tatum for the Birds.
And our scouting report, well, I don't want you to start singing, younger than springtime from the Broadway play Camelot. He is very young, 21. Don't look to the right. They're hitting .448, getting lefties out, and still looking for the first major league win. But a very power arm, and he'll get it up there. And there it is, a little easy 96. But again, what kind of command do you have? There are the numbers for Henderson Alvarez. Comes out of Venezuela.
So you don't want me singing?
Well, younger than springtime. Are you?
I didn't know the song.
Yeah, okay. Well,
1-1 to Hardy is down and in. Well, J.J. Hardy, he has been on a tear. 8 home runs and 20 RBIs in the month of August. And he has been overall consistent. He's got a 13-game hitting streak that he brings into tonight's game. Slow roller towards third. Laurie charges, throws on the run, and he got him. Oh, does he make it look easy, the 21-year-old. 1 down.
Take a look at our Nissan defense for the Jays. Thames, McCoy, Batista, Laurie, Escobar, Johnson just coming over from the Diamondbacks. Adam Lynn, Jose Molina behind the plate. And that is Nissan's bottom line sales event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit choosenissan.com or, as you know, Jim, your local Nissan dealer.
Here's Nick Markakis. And the pitch there for a strike by Henderson Alvarez.
He's got a little Felix Hernandez in him, a little turn. Of course, why not? Called him Felix the King. There it is.
And a foul ball. Well, the last game he pitched in the minor leagues, he was called up from Double-A. And he pitched that game against the Bowie Bay Sox. And he beat the Bay Sox, went 5 innings in that game and got the win. So I would guess that one of the first calls you make when you know you're facing Henderson Alvarez is to Gary Kendall of Bowie and say, well, what do you know about this guy?
Power arm.
Hard hit ball right at second. There's Kelly Johnson. 2 down on the Oriole first.
And against other teams, it seems what has gotten him out of the games, at least at the big league level, Oakland, Seattle, Oakland, Tampa Bay, is pitch count. So elevated pitch count. I mean, he really hasn't pitched that poorly. 3, 4, 1, and 4 runs. So again, if you get him some run support, which is not the case because they're getting him, what, 3.18 run support? That'd be down at the bottom of the list. So he's pitched better than maybe his record indicated, or his, which is 0-2.
Here's Adam Jones, 2 outs and the base is empty. And the fastball is right there for a strike. Well, that's a good approach. Get ahead. Now, I'd be curious as you watch him pitch tonight if you can figure out why his splits are opposite of what you might think they would be. Because the right-handed hitters have eaten them alive and the lefties can't get a thing off them. There's a small sampling over 4 starts.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a breaking ball yet. Well, maybe he gets in trouble with that.
Quickly 0-2 on Adam Jones. 2 outs and the base is empty. Just off the plate. Chad Fairchild has the plate tonight. There's Chad. This is Joe West crew. So Alvarez signed with the Jays at the age of 16 in October of 2006. 1-2 is low. There's a breaking ball of some kind.
Yeah, I think it looks to me, and again, we're only seeing him here in the first inning, is that he's got a power arm, breaking ball. Maybe you can see it a little bit. Bruce Walton, his pitching coach, looking on. Interesting. And there's another breaking ball. Hadn't thought about swinging at it, but it stayed low. He's just one of those guys where I would imagine this point in his career, he's going to throw the ball from the middle of the plate, and his movement's going to get a lot of outs.
Adam Jones has worked the count full after starting out no balls and 2 strikes. So a payoff pitch from Alvarez, and he got him. Just got a fastball by him. So a 3 up, 3 down inning. Adam Jones down on strikes. We'll head to the second. Reyes and the Birds, no score. defense, Home Depot, more savings, more doing. And how about Nolan Reimold to end the first?
It's good to have a tall left fielder there. A lot of times when I was throwing some home runs, I wanted an NBA guy, maybe 6'11" out there. But again, look at these numbers. And again, you start pitching better. It usually goes hand in hand with your defense. A lot of unearned runs early, but not lately.
And 0 unearned runs in the last 9 games as a result of that very good defense. And there's a strike in the outside corner. The one error was the Matt Wieters dropped pop-up last night, which after the game he said, I got to make that play. I just dropped it. My fault. It's on me. Normally a corner infielder will try to come in and get in position because of the angle, but Wieters said, well, I got there. So
no, he was there and
catch the ball.
Yeah.
And he took responsibility, which you like to see.
If it was a difficult play, I think somebody would have run him off, and that wasn't the case.
0-2 on Encarnacion and bounce foul. That's one of the things that you see with Matt Wieters and how he is quietly becoming a team leader. One of the aspects of a leader, and I'm sure you had several of these guys in your long career with all the good teams you were on, is how do you have accountability? Fly ball right center field. He got a lot of it. Long run for Markakis. That ball is off the wall and in play. Markakis plays the carom and fires in. And there's a double on an 0-2 pitch by Encarnacion.
It was up. Jojo Reyes, has to get it down. You look at the target. It's not a bad pitch, though. He just goes and get it. 32 doubles now. That leads the Jays for Encarnacion. It looks to me that he's a much, much better 2-strike hitter. Last year, not much of an idea. Again, Dwayne Murphy's done a terrific job as their hitting instructor, and he's apparently been able to get to it.
Kelly Johnson now runner at second, nobody down. And the breaking ball just misses outside.
Yeah, you need a ground ball to the right side. You need to get the kid some runs. And Johnson, again, not hitting that well. One of the reasons he was probably traded for John McDonald and Aaron Hill.
There's a pitch in there for a strike. He checked the swing.
And the reason I think Stephen Drew broke his ankle, probably about 6-7 weeks ago, so he's out for the year. So they needed somebody who could play shortstop. McDonald can do it. Again, Aaron Hill, not the hitter he was, 3 years ago when he hit 30-plus home runs.
There's a bouncer to first, gloved by Reynolds. He'll get the out, but as Jim pointed out, that's what you're trying to do there. Get the guy to third. They have with one down. The Maryland Lottery's double play contestant of the game is Joyce Larson of Pasadena. For every double play the Orioles turn during the game tonight, Joyce will win $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery. And now you can enter 2 great scratch-offs for a chance to win. To see how you can turn non-winning double play or amazing 8s scratch-offs into cash or amazing Orioles prizes, go to mdlottery.com/double play. And Brett Laurie wasting no time, hits one towards the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. Encarnacion will score, and the Jays grab a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, he's trying to get a ball in the air. He's able to do that. Take a look. Nobody's playing here. Another gap ball. So we see right center, left center. And right here, of course, he's thinking about 3 bases if they don't get the good carom. So 5 doubles. And again, 28 hits now. Make it 29 hits, 15 extra base hits.
He's now got an 8-game hitting streak as he extends it, jumping on the first pitch. And this is his 18th big league RBI. And here's Jose Molina. Well, Reyes already in a minimize the damage mode as the Jays have broken through for the lead and they have a runner at second base.
Well, he doesn't have the kind of stuff that he can end up in the middle of the plate. And he's got to establish his changeup, which he hasn't been able to do yet.
There's a strike at the knee zone 1 to Jose Molina.
Because he's usually going to be 88, 89. So again, that can get people out if you have something 82, 83 that's going down and away. He does like to throw the cutter, and we saw him in Minnesota and even in Anaheim use the curveball. And it was a pretty good one.
And just missing inside. So ball and a strike on the veteran Jose Molina of the catching Molina family. Benji's the older brother. Their younger brother Yadier is the Cardinals catcher. Jose's now 36 in his 12th big league season. But Laurie getting a lead off second base. 1-1 misses inside.
And you know that the Blue Jays know that JoJo Reyes is more comfortable inside than away. So again, when you get into these counts, you can look, you can take that plate, you can dissect it inside half, outside half, and we'll see what he does and what kind of quality pitch JoJo's able to make.
There's a big bouncer to short. Laurie thought about going to third, instead retreats, and a play by Hardy over to first for the second out. So big out there for JoJo Reyes. As a proud partner of the Baltimore Grand Prix, the Orioles, in conjunction with Major League Baseball, have moved the start time of tomorrow's game against the Jays from a night game at 7:05 to 12:35 tomorrow afternoon. Now, all tickets and parking dated September 1st will be honored for the new time at 12:35. If you have any questions, call 888-848-BIRD. And then the Orioles will be getting out of town after the game and head to Tampa.
Racing to the airport. Get it?
Yeah, at 180 miles an hour. You think they'd lend us?
No, but I actually, a good friend of mine, Alan Charles, the father of Josh Charles, nominated for an Emmy for Good Wife. Anyway, he left me a little message and said, "Would you like to ride in one of those cars?" And I said, "I actually have a game." I said, "Well, so I can't do that. I'll just ride to the ballpark with Rick Dempsey. It'll be the same thing." But seriously, that was a very nice gesture.
Yeah, that would be interesting for maybe 10 seconds, and then you'd be scared to death. 180 miles an hour.
Well,
on the
no,
street?
actually, I was looking at the little map. I don't. They say that, but I think the highest speed will be around 165, which kind of gets you going.
Boy, you're not kidding. Here's the 0-2 to McCoy. It's bounced towards third. That is a fair ball. And Andino gets it across. And the inning ends. So the Jays get a run, but they strand one. So the Baltimore Grand Prix, even the Oriole Birds in the race. Oriole Park, a nice moment for the Oriole fans and for Dylan Bundy, their #1 pick in June, the 4th overall pick. There he is with Joe Jordan. Dylan brought to Baltimore today. He signed his contract officially, as Joe Jordan said, "Here you go, young man. You're now a professional athlete." And Dylan Bundy now will head to Florida. He's going to work out until the instructional league begins in a few weeks. And then next year, who knows? Delmarva, maybe Frederick. It depends on how well he does. But he is, Jim, on the 40-man roster, so he'll be in Major League Spring Training.
Oh, yes, he will, and he's going to go to the instructional league. And right now he's throwing bullpens. He'll be starting to throw to hitters, and then he'll get his innings in. I think there was some talk early on in the Arizona Fall League, but that's not going to happen, at least that we know of or he knows of.
It's good to have him in the organization. A power arm. You can't teach a power arm. You can teach other things, but you can't teach that. 1-on-1 on Vladimir, leading off in the second. And missing inside, appeal to first. No swing, says Joe West, with a smirk.
And, of course, somebody said, when are you going to get to the big leagues? He said, when I'm ready.
Yeah, that was a really good answer.
Yeah, it really was.
You want somebody confident off the glove towards the middle. Fielding it is the second baseman Johnson. So one away on the deflection and one down. Well, tonight's second inning is brought to you by Luna. Call today for the Luna Double and get your second room of flooring free. Call 877-241-LUNA. Home runs in August in this month. J.J. Hardy with 8, Mark Reynolds with 8, trailing only Curtis Granderson and Evan Longoria. The Orioles just saw Granderson, and they'll see Longoria on Friday night. Here's Mark Reynolds. And down and away. Well, Mark Reynolds is really heating up towards the conclusion of the season. Brings a 10-game hitting streak into tonight's game. For Reynolds, a .375 average, 4 home runs, and 9 RBIs in the streak. And a ball and a strike on the swing and a miss. But to finish up the thought on Dylan Bundy, you want somebody confident. You want somebody to believe that they are going to be good and they can move along at whatever pace, but you like to see the understanding that you still then have to go out and do that. It just doesn't come to you because you have a lot of natural ability and you believe in yourself.
Well, he when we did a phone interview with him, he said basically it's worked so far because I've been getting high school hitters out, and then I will progressively face better hitters as it goes through the minor leagues. And Joe Jordan, the head of director of scouting, said, well, we'll just see how fast that is, and it'll have a lot to do with him, as it will.
And Joe, if you look at some of the high school pitchers that the Orioles have drafted, Brad Bergeson on this team is a good example, and so is Zach Britton for that matter. They sign, they go to a short season team, then they go home. Then the next year they go back to another short season team as Reynolds goes down on strikes for the second out, and it's not until the third professional season that they actually get to a full season team.
And another good sinking fastball at 94, so power arm, good movement. That's what Adam Jones struck out on in the first inning.
Our Jeep Exmo brought to you by the 2011 Jeep Compass.
I don't think he'll be an A-ball for 3 years, not if he's as good as advertised. And of course that's up to him, and I think he's well aware of that.
And it's almost certain, unless something happens, that he'll also skip the short season teams and begin next year either at Delmarva or Frederick. Ground ball foul sharply off the bat of Andino.
Well, it certainly can be done. And when I was talking to him, as I did on television, I said I was in the big leagues when I was 19. I had to be here, and I came right out of A-ball, so I got my 130 innings in. Then I went down instructional league, probably pitched about 12 games down there. So I was a little bit better, in fact a lot better after the instructional league. So hopefully, as good as he is, and as we heard from Art Stewart in Kansas City, I mean maybe one of the great high school pitchers ever, Gooden, McLean, people like that. He'll probably will accelerate his way right through this organization.
And now the process begins because he's an Oriole, and now it's up to him to get on the field. But the Orioles certainly are excited at the possibility of what he might bring. 2-2 on Andino, 2 outs and none on. And it's down and away, ball 3.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to go up there and look for a breaking ball, but so far it hasn't mattered. Maybe he'll lose something. Maybe he'll get some pitches up. So far, Henderson Alvarez hasn't done that. But again, I think they're going to. You'll look at the pitch count. But again, their bullpen a little short-handed. John Roush with the appendicitis. Talent was released today or designated for assignment.
3-2 is poked to right field, right at Jose Bautista, who has it for the out. So Henderson Alvarez, a 3-up, 3-down inning. So Dylan Bundy now officially in the Orioles system as he puts on the first-round pick jersey. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. What a lovely day it was in Baltimore. Here's JoJo Reyes going to work in the third, trailing 1-0, top of the lineup. Yunel Escobar, Eric Thames, and Jose Bautista. And there's a good-looking curveball for strike one.
Yeah, he's got a little David Wells in him when he throws that pitch over. Maybe not quite as tall as.
Good call.
Well, again, what did David Wells do? Probably about as well as anybody. Very rhythmic windup. He could turn the ball over a little bit, cut it in, threw a lot of strikes, got the big 12-6 curveball. JoJo has that.
0-2 is a bloop to right field, and that's going to fall in there for a base hit. There's a doink. Escobar is thinking about two. Markakis throws behind him, and getting back in is Escobar. Nice play by Reynolds to catch that ball and then hopefully not hurt Yunel Escobar.
Yeah, he lands on him, and he's going to get up slowly. So again, it is a doink, a little looper, and again they know that Nick Markakis can throw, and there's that what you talked about. I mean, watch Reynolds land right on top of it. Ooh,
kicked his hip.
Well, everything. I mean, he landed on him, not on purpose.
You're looking at his shoulder. And right about there, he realized, wait a minute, that's Markakis. Ooh, and his head as well.
And again, what he may have done, though, is just kind of press that whole left shoulder, and you could see him kind of land on that.
Escobar is 28 years old.
Probably feels like he's 35 right here, don't you think? See right there, that hip landing on that shoulder and pushing it towards the turf or the dirt.
Well, fortunately for him, it's his left shoulder since he's a right-handed thrower.
Yeah, but unfortunately, if you're hitting, of course, that's the shoulder that gets you to the ball. So he appears to be all right. Joe West says, do you have my DVD, my CD, Country Western Songs, right there?
He just said to Reynolds, wow.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
And then right there, the little roll on the shoulder.
Yeah, so in trying not to hurt him and get off, he went by the ailing area. So another base hit on an 0-2 pitch, although that one was a defense swing and just fell in. So JoJo Reyes, knowing Escobar, not convinced that he's not going to take off here. Curveball stays inside to Eric Thames. Reyes 26 out of West Covina, California. He is 12-25 in his big league career. And since joining the Orioles, he has gone 2-2. This ball's hit down the right field line. Tough play from Markakis, and that is a fair ball. It just stayed fair, and it goes into the corner. Heading towards the plate is Escobar. Here comes the relay throw. It is not in time. The throw too late. There's an RBI double for Thames, and it's a 2-0 Toronto lead.
Well, he had two doubles last night. This time he gets jammed and still is able to hit it fair. I mean, right there, good swing because he was able to get enough of the barrel of the bat to keep it fair. And again, he stayed inside the ball. Otherwise, you hook it foul. And right here, Escobar, a little hesitation by Ryan Adams, so it'll be close, but no chance to get him.
So the chance for a big inning now as they have a run-in runner at second and nobody down. Here's Jose Bautista.
Well, already 3 doubles on the evening.
There's a foul off the mask. Bautista with a vicious swing. Jose Bautista here at Camden Yards. This is the ballpark he made his major league debut as a member of the Orioles. It was on April 4th, 2004. It was a Sunday night opening night game against the Boston Red Sox. The Orioles had claimed him in the Rule 5 draft, so he made the team. And he made his debut that night on opening night by pinch running for David Segui in a game the Orioles won 7-2. Camden Yards since 2010, 16 games, has not hit well yet. All other ballparks, he has hit a ton. One of those quirky things where some players against certain opponents just don't fare well. But the starting pitching matchup that night was Pedro Martinez against Sidney Ponson.
Well, he was always very athletic, and again, I mean, not significant home run power until the last maybe 5 weeks of 2009, and then last year 54 home runs.
2-1 the count on Bautista. And he slices it to right at Markakis, going back to tag as Thames. He will head towards third. Markakis will throw to Hardy. It's cut off, and there's one down. So Bautista's out, but he does his job. Time for our Suzuki Game Flow Autos all-wheel drive lineup. Suzuki, the power of engineering. And the flow so far against Jojo Reyes has been RBI base hits, one by Laurie in the second, one by Thames in the third, and a 2-0 Toronto lead. Showalter signaling to his middle infielders. I think that meant 3/4.
Yeah, and the reason you do this is because if you do get the ground ball, maybe, even though Thames looks like he has pretty good speed, Lynn's not going to steal any bases. Even though Reyes, as a left-hander, doesn't hold him very well. I mean, a lot of times, you're down by 2, then scoring some runs. That graphic we showed you in the opening, almost 6 runs a game over the last, 9 starts?
Hard hit ball, pass Reynolds and down the line. Coming in to score is Thames, and Lind will stay at first.
Well, that's one of those consequences of having to play the infield in to some degree. I mean, he's not way in. But again, this ball, it's a little slider. And again, he hits it off the end of the bat, but it's going to stay down. And then it comes up a little bit. He thinks it's going to stay on the ground. You want to always try to stay below the hop. But again, when the ball comes up, then sometimes you look like you had no idea of catching, even though he's played so well at first.
That is a base hit for Adam Lind. So it'll be an RBI as well. Here's Encarnacion, and he looks at strike 1. Reyes has yet to have a clean 3-up, 3-down inning. He allowed 1 run on 2 hits in the second, 2 runs on 3 hits here in the third, and still only 1 down.
No changeups yet. Haven't seen one. Nil, as they say in the soccer world. 0.
Well, the next question then is, well, why wouldn't you work a pitch that's very important to you into your repertoire? Is it the count? Is it the feel? There's a base hit to right field. Encarnacion just going with it. Markakis runs it down. Encarnacion will stop at first. Lind will go to third.
Well, he hasn't been able to do anything other than an occasional curveball to slow the bats down. This is the 4th best offensive team in the American League, and you can see right there, Tatum moves in. He misses by 2 feet. So again, they know what he is, they know what his strengths are, and yet he's never been able to get them out on their front foot to this point. And then again, the scoreboard tells you they're down by 3, and he's in trouble. Here comes Ricadera. Have a little conversation.
Brad Bergeson will get to the bullpen mound, and he'll begin to get loose. So Reyes is being hit around. He's already given up 6 hits in just 2 1/3 innings. And it trails 3-0, and the Jays are threatening for more.
Well, I think the one number that you alluded to, and again, a lot of times there is the luck factor. He went 28 starts without a win. It took him 10 this year with Toronto, and he was able to win against Cleveland 11-1. Again, wasn't getting a lot of runs. Pitched well, didn't win. Pitched poorly and didn't win. But when you're 12-25 and your ERA is almost 6 runs a game, that's not all on not being lucky.
Right.
So again, it's a matter at this, if you're not a power guy, and he isn't, you have to make quality pitches, and tonight's been a little bit of a struggle.
Well, he's averaged on the year 11 base hits for every 9 innings he works, so there's a lot of base runners against Jojo Reyes. Here's Kelly Johnson, the left-handed batting second baseman. And missing inside with a fastball, 1-0. Johnson grounded out his first at bat. He's playing in his 7th game with Toronto following the trade from Arizona. So he went from a first place team to a 4th place team. High fly ball right center field. He got a ton of it. Adam Jones is back, and that ball is gone. And there's the first Blue Jays home run for Kelly Johnson, and it's huge, a 3-run shot. And just like that, it is 6-0 Toronto.
Well, he can hit the long ball. That's what he did for Atlanta. Of course, he comes over from Arizona, and again, just doesn't quite get all the way to Craig Tatum's glove. And Kelly Johnson, who's always been a guy in the middle of the plate, maybe a thigh to the belt high, and he's able to just belt that ball. And lately, ball's just flying here at Camden Yards. 6-0 lead.
Here's the rookie Brett Lawrie. So Johnson hits his 19th home run on the year, but his first in the American League. As Lawrie fouls it back, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, they found out the way to get Brett Lawrie out last night. He hit the 3-run home run off of Jeremy Guthrie on a curveball that hung a little bit. He was trying to get in on the fist. He looks like a good breaking ball hitter. He looks like he can hit the ball out over the plate. Hit a home run against the Orioles right center about 3 weeks ago on that Sunday afternoon.
And a foul at the plate.
And he doesn't get cheated. A very short swing, which is what you like to see from a young player.
Yeah, just 21 years old.
And there is his hitting instructor, Dwayne Murphy.
Ball and 2 strikes, still only 1 down in the inning. And a slow chopper foul.
That might have been the first changeup.
So your theory of the good start, bad start, good start, bad start seems to be following, because JoJo won his last start. That was in Minnesota last Thursday.
Well, again, you sit up here, and I went through this. Sometimes you could go out against a team that doesn't hit well and maybe not have your best stuff and still win and still pitch well. Minnesota's 13th in offense. Toronto's 4th. They know him. He pitched for him.
And Lawrie down on strikes, off speed pitch.
Changeup. Yahoo! And a good one. Watch this ball turn over. It gets him off the fastball. Good movement, good location. The key, of course, the count was 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's got to chase.
Well, it was a 7-pitch at bat, but Lawrie finally down on strikes, and here's Jose Molina, the 8th batter to come up.
Well, you have all these scouting reports when a hitter comes up, how you're going to try to get him out, depending on the score, depending on how many outs there are. You don't want to go to a guy's weakness until you really need to.
Molina deep left field, and that ball's going to go. Jose Molina hitting his 3rd on the year, and it's 7-0 in favor of Toronto.
And doesn't hit a lot of home runs. Here comes Buck Showalter. Brad Bergeson certainly ready. Take a look right here. Good changeup to get Lawrie out. And again, I mean, there's another changeup. This time it's right down the middle. Doesn't turn over. Not a lot of movement, and Molina's waiting.
So just 2 2/3 for Reyes. He'll leave, and Brad Bergeson coming on in the 3rd. hits. He struck out 2 and he walked 1, and now our State Highway Administration call to the bullpen. The call to the bullpen reminds you to be street smart. Always use crosswalks when walking. And driving, be alert of pedestrians.
So Brad Bergeson comes on. Two runs in his last 14th inning. Pitching very well. Last pitch 3 days ago. And again, that ERA, of course, it was up there a little bit under 6, is coming down. He's just throwing the ball well. And again, he would like to be starting, but he's acclimated himself to this role quite well. Hard worker every day, doing something to get himself in better condition.
And he misses with a fastball to Mike McCoy. Blue Jays have batted around here in the first. And that's high and away. McCoy grounded out his first at bat. And a slow roller towards third and a foul ball.
And meanwhile, their 21-year-old pitcher, just Henderson Alvarez, over there going, more boys, more.
I could get my first win.
Of course, he has to pitch at least through the 5th inning.
2-2 on McCoy. And Bergeson misses ball 3.
And one thing about Berge, he's been able to, not always under control, get his fastball sometimes up to 94 miles per hour. But again, you do all your exercises, probably more arm strength now than he did a couple of years ago. I think they'd still like to see him establish that sinking fastball, which is probably a little bit harder when you're not pitching regularly.
Tough night for JoJo Reyes. As McCoy fouls it off to stay alive.
Well, I think if you're JoJo, I mean, you're only 26, but you've pitched enough to know that it's just one of those nights where you don't want it to happen very often, but he just did make good pitches. They knew him. They're a very good hitting ball club. It's just not a good combination, except for them. Bounce
it to third, and Dino backs up to play the hop and gets it across, so Bergeson ends the inning. But a huge inning for the Jays as they score 6. 7-0 Toronto lead. On Utah Street here at Camden Yards has been redesigned and restocked with more O's merchandise than ever before. Be sure to stop by for officially licensed team gear, including hats, t-shirts, jerseys, memorabilia, and more. It's open during every O's home game as well as 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on non-game days. Now, whether it's official on-field apparel for fun, retro designs, the official Orioles team store is the place for O's fans. 7-0 on a 6-run third inning for Toronto.
And no walks. There's an idea. 3 hits, 3 singles, 1 double, 2 home runs. Better get it going.
Yeah, the Orioles don't have a base runner yet. As Reimold will take a strike from the rookie Henderson Alvarez. Reimold is at 240. Looks over a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, that average coming up.
And he takes a strike, 1-2. Reimold has 14 hits in his last 11 games. Facing a 21-year-old rookie. And this is outside, ball 2.
Yeah, you were talking last night. He's kind of mastered the swinging bunt, and they still playing deep. I'm not suggesting that you play him way in, but you cannot play Nolan Reimold on the left side of the field at quite as deep as you would a normal guy because incredible speed for a big guy. So again, if you do top one, you probably would say maybe a couple of steps in for Laurie at third would make it more comfortable.
And a broken bat bouncer right back to Henderson Alvarez. So he took it full 3-2, but he gets his man and one away. Shattered the bat. Well, here's Ryan Adams, and what a thrill for the rookie last night. Since his recall from AAA, 11 out of 33. So he is batting at a .333 clip with 4 RBIs, and that game-winning hit last night. His teammates got him, and then he got the shaving cream pie as he was on post-game television. Really looks like a much more polished player since the first time he was here. One of the differences, I think, is that he is getting regular playing time.
Yeah, a lot easier when that's what you're used to. I mean, we saw that with Andino. The big question for any young player, and we saw it with Robert last year when Asturias went down. He probably got exposed playing for a solid month. Never had done that before. And then when he did come back this year, I mean, he's, again, at least in my estimation, maybe one of the most improved because he's learned what's your work habits. What do I have to do to stay sharp when I'm not playing every day? And now, of course, he is playing every day.
And there's a base hit to center field. So Ryan Adams becomes the Orioles' first base runner with a 1-out single in the 3rd inning. Orioles finally get a man on base. Well, to help ease the downtown traffic as the Baltimore Grand Prix approaches, the Orioles encourage fans attending the game tomorrow to carpool or take public transportation if you can. Now, as an added incentive, all fans who present a valid MTA pass at the Oriole Park box office will receive a $5 off any regularly priced ticket to the game or any remaining home game this season. For all the details, plus the latest on road closures and alternate routes, just go to Orioles.com/Grand Prix. So for the first time tonight, Henderson Alvarez working from the stretch. Greg Tatum in the number 9 spot. This is his 7th start in the month of August. He has gone 3 for 20 in those prior 6. And a swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Awfully good movement there. They're getting that 2-seamer. I was talking to Pat Henkin, the former Cy Young Award winner, their bullpen coach, and also Bruce Walton, their pitching coach. And some of his pitches will start on the plate, and they'll just, again, that sinking action, the 2-seamer, they'll dive. And we've already seen that. Adam Jones swung through one.
Bouncer to short, should be 2. There's Escobar to Johnson, back to first, and a double play. So Tatum ends the inning on the 6-4-3. We'll head to the 4th. Alvarez and the Jays with a 7-0 lead. MASN is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network, and by Nissan's Bottom Line Sales Event. Tremendous selections, great offers, bottom line savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or
your local Nissan dealer.
7-0. The Jays are in front. Orioles had one base hit, erased on a double play ball. Bergeson got the final out of the third, stays on for the fourth.
Well, his mission, if the way he's been pitching, it's not mission impossible. It's just we saw Sammy Stewart. I played on a team where we probably had the best long man in baseball, Sammy Stewart, come in, slam the door, and give you hope you can make a comeback. And that's the only way it's going to happen. They're looking for add-on runs, and you want to slam the door. And again, he's got the ability to do that if he makes his pitches. It won't be easy because these guys can hit.
And there's a base hit in the left field for Escobar. So Escobar's got a 2-hit night. He led off last inning with a hit. Does the same here in the fourth. Today's Baltimore Grand Prix MASN 3-day pass winner is Andy Martire of Baltimore. Andy wins 4 3-day passes to the Baltimore Grand Prix. The streets of Baltimore at 180 miles per hour. The Baltimore Grand Prix, September 2nd through the 4th.
Martire, perfect name to go to the Grand Prix.
Good thinking. You know, you could tell it's getting close to the Grand Prix because all the parking lots out back here, they're filled with tractor trailer trucks and tents and all kinds of semis coming into town. And I wonder where they keep the cars. You know that? Where are the race cars kept?
In the trailers. Come on.
Oh, okay. I wonder how many.
Yeah, I did read the article yesterday, and then I saw the actual path. It's kind of a down Pratt Street around Camden Yards. It's a close-off part of 395. Actually, part of it's right around the stadium. Uh-oh.
There's a base hit to right field, maybe. Markakis diving try, can't get it. Jones backs him up. Trying to go to second is Thames, and the ball gets away, and it's backed up by Bergeson. So Markakis with a diving try. That'll be a double for Thames. And second and third, and nobody out.
Now, you just can't elevate a ball to this kid. And then right here's, again, the scoreboard probably has a lot to do with this right here. He's going to make an effort. A nice backup by Adam Jones, and then he makes a good throw. And again, I think it's just up the line or towards first base enough that J.J. Hardy, who's streaking over, can't catch it. So these guys already have 7 runs and 10 hits.
Bautista, Reynolds thought about coming home, but instead takes the sure out. So Escobar with a good jump. Once that ball was put in play, he scores, and it's 8-0 Toronto.
Well, again, it's not like they. I mean, they do steal some bases because they have a lot more speed. You mentioned it. Again, John Farrell, their manager, but out with walking pneumonia. They came in last night's game with 109 steals. But a lot of times it's just team speed. Good jump, secondary leads. Reynolds did think about going home, but no chance. So there's your 8th run. And the good news for them, the bad news for the Orioles, Bautista kind of gives himself up by going to the right side to get a run in, and you move the runner over. Pretty unselfish play.
Adam Lind will take a strike, and the Orioles forced to bring the infield in. So already 8-0. Jays already have 10 base hits. Fly ball to center field. Adam Jones going way back. It's going to be over his head and off the wall. Just missed going out. Scoring from third is Thames, and on at second with an RBI double is Adam Lind.
I'll tell you what, they are getting some fastballs to hit and are not missing them. I mean, this ball, what, about an inch? Maybe right off the top of the wall, and kicks in, and there's Adam Jones. He's going to reverse his path right there. Well, there you go, the 9th run. Thames is going to come in after he doubled. Now 11 hits, 9 runs.
And still only 1 down. Edwin Encarnacion takes the ball. Seven extra base hits already for Toronto. High fly ball to left field. Reimold back, and that ball is gone. A 2-run shot for Encarnacion. It is 11-0. Toronto.
Well, again, Brad pitching so well tonight. Just doesn't seem to have it. Boy, has there been a series of bad pitches tonight. You can see the Tatum moves away, ball down the middle. These guys can hit the big fly with the best of them. They led the world in home runs last year, and Batista led that parade with 54. He's got 38.
Here's Kelly Johnson. Takes a strike. Troy Patton now beginning to get loose. And that's fouled off. Encarnacion is 3 for 3, and he's got a double, a single, and a home run. So we're only in the 4th inning. He needs a triple for the cycle.
Pretty tough to do in this ballpark.
Yeah. 0-2 is right there for a strike. And 2 away.
Yeah, Brad's going to get away with a high pitch because it's right on the top of the strike zone. And again, very frustrating when you know what you need to do and you can't do it.
Brett Laurie takes down an M1-0.
I mean, tonight it's just like not even close to where the glove is by both Reyes and by Brad. Greg Tatum moves a certain area. I mean, look at him down the way. Well, there he finally got it, but it's a breaking ball and gets into another hitter's count. Pitches to hit, hitters counts, and then an awfully good hitting team. Not a good combination if you're trying to beat him.
Strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Well, Reyes went 2 2/3, 7 earned runs. Bergeson now in 1 inning, 4 earned runs. Hard hit ball right at Hardy at short. That ball was smoked right to the shortstop. Jays add on. They score 4 mid-4th, 11-0 Toronto. Maybe going around Major League Baseball. Steven Strasburg expected to make his 2011 Major League debut next Tuesday against the Dodgers. He is scheduled to start Thursday at AA Harrisburg. That's expected to be his final rehab start. Then Ozzie Guillen of the White Sox, he says, give me a contract extension or I'm going elsewhere. Even though he still has 1 more year to go on his contract. And Justin Morneau will miss multiple games. He is once again suffering the mild concussion symptoms which have plagued him all year, going back to last year when he initially suffered the concussion.
He had to hold for a ball and then had those symptoms. So certainly, we had a chance to talk to him when we were in Minnesota. That he will get back to playing. Tough year for him. Neck problems, wrist problems, concussion problems that kind of went away in spring training as he worked his way back into playing shape. Yeah, so what do you think? Ozzie came, they won the World Series in 2005, I believe. So he's probably been there maybe the year before, at least.
Hardy, a high fly ball to right. It's playable for Bautista. And he's got it for the out and one away. Here's tonight's minor league report brought to you by PNC for the Achiever in You. And Kyle Hudson, whose name keeps floating around for a possible call-up. This season with Frederick Bowie and Norfolk at 297, 23 RBIs, 13 doubles, 39 stolen bases. So you like to see some guys with speed down on the farm.
So what Ozzie has had, if you factor in the last year, he will probably close to have had a 10-year contract. They're spending $128 million. So they got over 500, what, a couple of weeks ago?
And maybe
he wants that extension?
Well, maybe, just maybe. I mean, the Marlins are going to be in the market for a manager because Jack McKeon is the interim and he's 80 years old. And he has said he'll stay as long as they want him to, but he's not expecting to be back. And is it a coincidence that Ozzie Guillen makes his home in Miami? So, if you're going to go elsewhere, but there's the little matter of he's signed for next year.
Well, I mean, I don't know Jerry Reinsdorf that well, but I do know him. He was on the Hall of Fame committee, had dinner with him, Ed Farmer and a bunch of guys. Pretty loyal guy. So I'm surprised that Ozzie would demand that, to be quite honest. Unless he does want out of his contract. You can't read minds, though.
Nope.
Boy, he gets so much leash from both Kenny Williams, the general manager, and Jerry. Steve Stone said it's all about filling columns in the newspapers. And Ozzie does a great job of that.
2-2 on Markakis, 1 out, none on. Nick's 0 for 1. And down and in ball 3. Get maximum access to exclusive Orioles interviews plus special behind-the-scenes content available only through social media. Be the first to know when you like Masson on Facebook at facebook.com/Masson Orioles. Content you just can't miss. So for Henderson Alvarez, who has allowed only 1 base hit, this is his 5th 3-2 count. And he's facing his 11th batter.
Well, usually he's going to throw around 100 pitches in 6 innings.
Bounce to second. Right there's Kelly Johnson. 2 down in the Oriole 4th.
Yeah, Pat Kenkin, we were talking about the bullpen coach was talking to Joel Carreno, who we saw yesterday, and he said, still trying to convince him. And Carreno has the great breaking ball and also very young. He said, still about fastball command. And one thing about Pat, I think the 1996 Cy Young Award winner, 20 games winners, won 19 one year for him, pitched here at the end of his career.
Yeah.
Trying to stay awake. 11-0 will do that. I certainly understand that.
He is one of the real good guys in the game. I enjoyed him being on the team, even though it was late in his career and he was past his prime and he had, the Tommy John. But he's a gamer, and he always was a gamer. And he learned from guys like Mike Flanagan in Toronto when Mike was late in his career, and Jimmy Key was there.
Dave Steve, all those kind of guys. Jack Morris was even there.
Yeah. 2-0 to Jones outside, ball 3. Adams struck out his first at bat. He is just 2 for his last 23.
Yeah, I think he's pressing. He wants to get closer to 300. Wants to get to 100 RBIs, and there is a process.
Catcher, shortstop, and center field for the Orioles. 1st in home runs, 4th in RBIs, 3rd in average, and 3rd in slugging. So you got to be strong up the middle.
And I was looking at that, and I'm saying, boy, what if Brian Roberts was healthy? Runs scored would have gone up. Stolen bases would have gone up. Doubles would have gone up. And Brian has, when he's healthy, hit, 15 to 18 home runs. I think 18 is his high. But again, you see with Justin Morneau with concussion symptoms, not easy to solve sometimes.
From 3-0 to 3-2 on Jones, and he fouls it back. And you said Morneau aggravated the concussion symptoms diving for a ball. Brian Roberts aggravated his diving in the first base for a base hit.
No, it was landing and having your neck and head snap back, and apparently that's what happened with Morneau.
Another 3-2 to Adam Jones. Right to Kelly Johnson. Plays an in-between hop. And gets it to first. So there's a third 3-up, 3-down inning and 4 for Alvarez. 11-0 Jays. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. There's the Brooks Robinson retired number and camera 6. I love you. Jamie, how you doing? I didn't know you were camera 6. I thought you were Jamie. How about that? He's got a fan club. I like that.
Do you blame him?
Oh, he's good. He's all over the ballpark. He's on those extra pre and post. He's out there in center field for us. Molina waves at it.
Yeah, didn't wave at the home run. He got a change up in the middle of the plate right after JoJo Reyes made a great pitch with Brett Lawrie. Got one to move down and away, and Lawrie swung through it for strike 3 and then came back with a pitch to Molina. Just didn't have the same movement. Took advantage of it.
Ferguson misses down and in. 1-2 on Molina. McCoy and Escobar will follow. There's a slow bouncer. Ferguson, knowing Molina's running, did the right thing. Turned and took his time, and a true throw to first. 1 down. Your favorite birds are back with their favorite dogs and cats. The 2012 Orioles Pet Calendar presented by Southwest Airlines. Pick up the 15-month calendar. Your favoritos are in there, including Nick Markakis, Adam Jones, Matt Wieters, the skipper. Proceeds benefit the Baltimore Animal Rescue and Care Shelter. To get your pet calendar, 888-848-BIRD or go online, Orioles.com.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Jose Molina walked up to you after you said he may be the slowest guy in baseball. He had a little tear in his eye today. And he said, am I really the slowest guy in baseball? Yeah, oh yeah. A little tear was coming. He was trying to cry.
I said he might be. I didn't accuse him of being. I'm open for suggestions.
What was that?
Is there anyone
Just
slow?
kidding. Come on.
No. I'm trying to think.
I'm not going to bring it up again, but you're probably right.
I believe he is.
He can catch and he can throw. And he hit a home run. Doesn't matter if he's slow. That's right. I can't call him the Flying Molina.
I think he could beat Benji in a race.
What?
His brother.
There you go. Toe to toe. Get on the cleats.
I haven't seen enough of Yadier, even though he was.
Oh, he's much faster. Yes. I see him in spring training.
There's a 1-out walk.
Yeah, Mike McCoy walking 2 times tonight. Already, well, they've kind of matched 11 runs, 12 hits.
Here's Yunel Escobar, who has started 2 rallies. Oh, nice knockdown there by Adams to Hardy, back to first. There's a double play. Ryan Adams continuing to play outstanding defense. The smash, he knocked it down and then able to turn the double play. And the Orioles turn 2. Congratulations to Joyce Larson of Pasadena. She has won $1,000 from the Maryland Lottery double play contest. Pep Boys does everything for less. Call 1-800-PEP-BOYS. Well, a nice night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards, and the flow of this game, Jim Palmer, has been about the Blue Jays hitting. And Buck Showalter, prophetic before the game, when asked about Jojo Reyes maybe continuing the good starts by the starters, he said, you know what, the Blue Jays will have a lot to say about that, and they have.
Yes, they did. They know him because he pitched for him, and what did Buck say probably about 10 days ago? We're in the business of what have you done for me lately? And again, I think there are a lot of guys that want to start. Again, there's going to be conjecture who's coming up. Tillman, Vandenhurst, guys like that. So, again, this is one of those nights. Can you score 15 runs? That's what the Orioles look like they're going to have to do because, and it's also one of those nights where maybe you sequence yourself through the bullpen, get a guy an inning, Patton just got back, et cetera, and hope that you can stay somewhat close. But, again, 11-0, you better get the hitting shoes on.
Here's Vladimir Guerrero as he leads off for the Orioles in the 5th. So the Blue Jays didn't score in the 1st. They didn't score in the 5th.
They're tired.
Hard smash right to short. Escobar. Gloves, spins, styles a little bit and gets it across. 1 down.
Yeah, that's the kind of play. And he didn't run the ball out. I know it's 11-0, but that's what got him to Toronto. You don't do that for Bobby Cott. Jim Presley, the Orioles hitting instructor, was saying that he played for Bobby Cox, the best manager he ever played for. Fair, demanding, winner, and he's going to the Hall of Fame, and it won't take too long. I would think that he would be a candidate next year. What you were talking about, Casey Stengel?
The year after.
Yeah, the year after. He retired in 1965, in the Hall of Fame in 1966.
Mark Reynolds looks over ball 1. Two strikeouts for Henderson Alvarez. 1 Mark Reynolds, his first at bat. Quick turnaround for these teams. 12:30 game tomorrow, and then both will head on out. Getaway day for both teams. Foul ball back.
Well, yeah, for Toronto, it's about trying to play over 500. John Farrell, even as we mentioned, not here because of the walking pneumonia. Don Wakamatsu taking his place. He's the bench coach. We've seen him over the years with Buck Showalter and down in Texas, manager of Seattle. But they want to be over 500. They're in a rebuilding phase. Some of the sports writers telling them, open up the coffers. Try to compete with the Yankees and the Red Sox. And the only way to do it is spend a bunch of money.
And Reynolds down on strikes again as that ball dipped down and away. And 2 down in the 5th. We invite you to tune in to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report tomorrow at 5:30 here on MASN. Tom Davis, Dave Johnson, Mel Antonin, and Phil Wood. They'll discuss all the hot topics from around the world of baseball, plus continued post-game coverage of the O's-Jays finale. Interviews, of course, and much more. The Mid-Atlantic Sports Report, 5:30 tomorrow on MASN. So 2 down.
Yeah, you talked about pitch count. His pitch count per inning coming into this game was 18. So again, easily to get up to 105-6 innings, which has been the case tonight. Maybe a little bit more relaxed, maybe on his game a little bit more. Not a lot of pressure when you get a early big lead.
There's a bouncer towards third. Laurie charges in, throws on the run, and he got him. So the Orioles go 3 up, 3 down for a 4th time on the night. We'll head to the 6th. Troy Patton coming on for the Birds. Cam, let's go back to the 3rd inning. As you know, Escobar dropped a base hit into right field, and then Markakis throwing behind the runner, and Mark Reynolds and Escobar entangled at first base. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Yeah, Troy Patton comes out of the bullpen. Again, a little bit of an unrestricted list for a couple of days. Comes in and he's actually throwing the ball pretty well. Fastball command, big throw, breaking ball any count, has a changeup. So for him, it's just a matter of how do you match up? What are you going to be used? Came up as a starting pitcher and then used out of the bullpen at AAA Norfolk and here in the big leagues.
So the left-hander comes on in the 6th. Bergeson 2 1/3 innings, 4 runs on 4 hits. Reyes 2 2/3, 7 runs, 8 hits. Well, Thames takes down and in. He has been on base all 3 times tonight. Doubled and stole a base in the 1st. RBI double and a run in the 3rd. Double and a run in the 4th. And a chopper past the mound. It's going to be a tough play for Adams. And he didn't get him. There's a base hit. A slow chopper. Thames on the left side of the batter's box and runs very well.
Yeah, he smells base hit. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard tells you. Patton can't get it. Tonight again, right there, that little hesitation. I don't think he would have had him anyway. I think the Orioles are going to learn that because this kid has speed and power, they're going to maybe have to play him a step or 2 in. One of those guys. Maybe not in the same classification as Corey Patterson, but one of those left-handed hitters that can beat out hits.
Jose Bautista takes a strike.
Well, didn't he have 10 home runs against the Orioles last year?
It seemed like every time he
came
up.
I think that was a number. And then this year, of course, he's working on the shutout so far. But you always feel like he's one swing away from doing that.
I was wondering before the game, when you look at Bautista's numbers, he's tied for the league lead in home runs with 38 with Curtis Granderson, yet he has only 85 RBIs, which is 8th best in the league. But when you have 38 home runs, you would think he'd have more. One of the reasons is he has hit just .225 with runners in scoring position on the year. So you get the combination of, do the hitters get on ahead of him, which they have tonight. He does have an RBI tonight on a ground out. But you would think with 38 home runs, he'd be close to or over 100. And, well, you talked about a home run. There it goes, and way back in the lower deck.
And again, just not a quality pitch. You got the count in your favor. Of course, he's got the highest on-base percentage in baseball at .453. He's first in base on balls, and again in slugging. And now he's reached 112 out of the 123 games. They try to come in, and boy, he misses by a foot. Not a lot of pitchers. Reyes probably does a better job of getting in because he cuts the ball in. But right here, Patton, ball runs back out over the plate, and the Orioles are now down by 13. One of those nights where you just can't execute your pitches to a very, very, very good hitting team.
Adam Lind will take a ball. And regardless of who the Orioles have sent out on the mound, the Jays have hit them. 7 runs to Reyes, 4 runs to Bergeson, now 2 runs to Patton. Off the end of the bat, right center field, Jones and Markakis. It'll be Jones. And there's the first out here in the 6th inning. Fans, due to Major League Baseball's National Baseball restrictions, Saturday's game at Tampa, which will start at 6:05, will be joined in progress on MASN 2 HD at 7:06 p.m. Now, as the home team, the Rays choose the game start time. They have decided to begin the game early on Saturday. We encourage you, follow the game at MASNsports.com. You'll get live game blogs and stats, and then we'll join you live at 7:06. Edwin Encarnacion is a triple short of the cycle. Floated it down the line.
Well, he's hitting it to the right space. If you get it, maybe in that little corner, little pinball action. Other than that, where would else you hit a triple? Right there, I guess you could get it around, and maybe deep right center field, out by where the grounds crew, and out here somewhere, maybe get a little ricochet off there. The triple's hard to come by here.
0-2 is pulled foul.
More like he has home running mind again. There was a triple last night. Kelly Johnson had a triple. Matt Engler got a little too close to the wall when zipping by him.
You know, we've seen PA hit for a cycle here. We've seen Aubrey Huff hit for a cycle here.
I saw Cal do it down in Texas. There's a good breaking ball. So again, you can get these guys out. We saw Lynn. Patton made a good pitch, so Lynn got him out right here. He gets ahead this time. There's that little slider curveball. And he goes way too far. Yeah, we used to go on a road. We had Cleveland, and we look up and the scoreboard would be 9-0, 10-0, 11-0. You're looking to see are they getting the signs.
There's a line drive to left that'll fall in front of Reimold. And Kelly Johnson, who had a 3-run home run in the 3rd, is now 2 hits in the game. He's 2 out of 4. Tonight's Cold Hard Blast brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
Yep. Well, again, he just gets a slider and lofts it. As you mentioned, this is what he does. He already had 18 home runs. Number 19 home run guy. Man, it was off a lefty.
Hey. So Brett Laurie comes up now with a runner on and 2 down. Curveball is outside, 1-0. 13-0 Blue Jay lead. And Laurie contributed. He got the first run driven in with a double in the 2nd inning. That's outside, ball 2. The Jays have not gone down in order once in this game. The 5th inning was a 3-batter inning. 1-out walk, and then a double play ball ended it. Over but low, ball 3. The Orioles making one change on the Major League roster today. Buck Showalter announcing the Michael Gonzalez trade, and Zach Phillips is in the bullpen. Zach, he was picked up in a prior trade with Texas, wearing number 58, left-hander. Ground ball towards short. There's Hardy. He'll flip to Adams, and that ends the inning. But two more on the board on the home run by Bautista. And the Blue Jays in a rout, leading at 13-0. It'll be Tommy Hunter on the mound against Luis Perez. Our coverage on MASN HD begins at noon with those extra presented by Verizon Wireless, and then game coverage at 12:30. We've got all the access you need right here on MASN.
Yeah, Perez and Hunter. We saw Perez out of the bullpen. They just put him in the starting rotation. And Tommy Hunter coming off a game where he pitched well early on against the Yankees. They got him a lot of runs. And a chance again to do what he does well, which is challenge hitters. Look at these ground balls tonight. Unbelievable.
Broken bat to Escobar. Reimold's out, one away.
Not too many balls in the air tonight. But,
two. They got Hardy in the fourth. They got Andino in the second.
Yep. Well, the two-seam fastball, and again the big lead. We've talked about over the last 9 games. The Orioles had won 7. ERA under 3 runs a game. Starters doing a nice job, and one of your jobs, and sometimes you can't do it, is to make your teammates think that they have a chance, that every out and every at bat they have is meaningful. Tonight, not one of those games because of the early lead. Doesn't mean that you give up, but I think you do lose some focus, just the way it is.
Adams has the Orioles' only hit. Slow roller towards the mound. Alvarez turns and fires, and he got him. So another ground out. That's 11 ground outs on the night. There's still time to gather up your group and enjoy Oriole Park's newest fan destination, the Miller Lite Flight Deck. For one low price, you'll enjoy a fun, casual atmosphere with bar-like seating and a great view of the game. Plus, everyone in your group will receive a food and beverage voucher to use throughout the ballpark. For more on the Miller Lite Flight Deck, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com.
Yeah, Pat Enkin told me he was a former position player. He didn't really say much about that in the press guide. But he looked like he was an infielder, the way he gunned that one over there. Going 97 over to first base.
Tatum is 0 for 1. He bounced into an inning-ending double play in the third. Hard hit ball, backhanded by Escobar. And he flips it across. He got a little style in him, but he gets it done. 3 up, 3 down go the O's. 13-0 Jays.
try to make it 2 in a row, but home run derby. 4 home runs tonight, 15 hits, 13 runs. Molina joins the party. Doesn't matter who's pitching. Brad Bergeson comes in. Edwin Encarnacion leans back. The ball's flying out of here, and then the youngster Henderson Alvarez looking for his first major league win, throwing nothing but ground balls, couple balls in the air. There you go, Jojo Reyes. Just one of those nights. We've said bad, good, and tonight didn't pitch the way he wanted to. So I would say not looking too good. Another understatement.
Well, it's looking good for him.
Well,
he's loving it. There's Jose Molina, the swift Jose Molina, takes a strike. And doesn't like the call in a 13-0 game.
Please.
Look at he's still angry.
Well, I think he's still tearing up from his slowness that you described.
You missed it. I just changed the adjective. I said here's the swift Jose Molina leading off.
Yeah, but we know he's not swift. Plus, when you're calling pitches, he's a pretty swift guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it. He's the perfect backup.
Well, yeah,
that's what you want him to do.
Again, change his stance, a little open stance right here, and he's trying to do something at what, 8:35 just to prove he belongs on the team. And now they're on good terms.
He's still talking to Chad.
Oh no, he just wants to know what the count is. One of those games when you're down, you're 13 runs ahead, maybe.
The center field, Adam Jones is there. And one away here in the Toronto 7th. The state in baseball history, 1938, Rudy York hit his 18th home run in August. That set a monthly major league record. In 1990, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. became the first father and son combo to play in the same Major League Baseball lineup. And then in 2005, Jeremy Hermida became the second major league player to hit a grand slam in his first major league at-bat. The state baseball history brought to you by Verizon Fios. Switch to Fios, a network ahead. To learn more, Verizon.com/getFios. So the Griffeys played in the game, and the Orioles and Cal's last year, in fact, leading up to Cal's last game, they had Tim Raines Jr., who they drafted, and they traded for Tim Raines Sr., and that duo shared the outfield for one game. They started one game. That was kind of special.
Yeah, they thought Tim Raines Jr., again, of course, his dad was actually, a lot of people, when you start looking at Hall of Fame numbers, a lot of runs scored, a lot of stolen bases, at least one batting title, maybe two. An awfully good career. They thought his son, because he had speed and a switch hitter, there's your pitch. Yep, maybe when it's 13-0, the strike zone gets a little bit bit. Mike McCoy walked a couple times early. It's a pretty good pitch right here. He thought it was inside. So Troy Patton has kind of stopped the insanity when it comes to the Blue Jays taking BP. Orioles with one hit, and the Blue Jays with 15.
Here's Escobar. Curveball for a strike, breaks down on the outside corner. Escobar 2 for 4. He started a rally in the third and a rally in the fourth. 2 rallies which produced a total of 10 runs. A little late there, 0-2. And Troy Patton's on for his second inning. 0-2 is the count. And a slow roller foul.
Yeah, for Troy, again, I think they envisioned him coming up to the big leagues and being a guy that you could bring in to get a lefty out, maybe situationally. But he's actually gotten right-handers out much better. Coming into tonight's game, the lefties were hitting, what, righties at 179, lefties way over 300. They were 375. Not a lot of at-bats, but 9 for 24. So, again, if you're going to be in this role, you'd like to have a guy that can do a better job against left-handers.
I wonder if we might see Zach Phillips tonight.
I think you probably will. Why not? Why not give him an inning unless he pitched, you know, an inning or two tomorrow, last night or something. Different ball, get him acclimated.
Well, you won't see the three who pitched last night, Air, Johnson, and Gregg. There's Zach Phillips, just brought up today. They got him, the Orioles did in a minor league trade.
No, you never saw it.
Ryan Adams was looking the second towards shortstop Hardy, and the ball was put in play. So there's a base hit for Escobar.
Well, again, he just doesn't see it. He didn't see it. And now he sees it.
Got Showalter looking out at second base, wondering what the heck's going on. When I looked up to watch the ball, Adams was looking at Hardy.
Well, again, a lot of times they'll let you know what the not about covering, you know, maybe letting them know that a breaking ball is coming or whatever. But again, it's just you don't see that. We saw it. I mean, this is 2 nights in a row. I mean, Buck said he said, did you ever see 2 of the strangest innings, poorly played innings? It was the last 2 last night, even though the Orioles ended up winning.
Adams will put this one away, and no harm done. So base hit and a man left. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Fly straight, drink responsibly. Their 7th inning stretch, 13 runs on 16 hits for the Blue Jays. And welcome in Jim Hunter and Jim Palmer. And you don't like to play through games like this, but unfortunately over a long 162 game season, sometimes it happens.
Certainly does. Happened. I mean, we used to win 109, 108, 101. You'd have games like this. Just again, the critical game is going to be tomorrow. They have not won a home series since what, June 24th, 26th, when the Reds were in town. So again, you don't like to get beat up like this. Obviously, it's a series of them hitting well and you not making good pitches tonight. We've seen what happens when you reverse that. We've seen the Orioles pitch very well over the previous 9 games. So, Tommy Hunter, you hope he pitches well tomorrow. You know, the other thing, the side of this coin, Jim, is that you learn something if you're the Orioles. Again, this is a young 21-year-old pitcher. He's in a situation where he's going to win his first major league team with power stuff. So again, if he can do it, doesn't mean somebody else can.
Matt Engel is pinch hitting for J.J. Hardy, so J.J. will get off the field for a couple of innings. And there's a bouncer to short. Right there is Escobar. Gets it across and safe. Adam Lynn missed the tag. So Joe West saying safe, that the tag was not made.
Now take a look right here. A lot of speed. So Escobar. And again, he just comes off the bag. I'm not sure he needed to do that. Don Wakamatsu is going to come out. This is an error. But, you know, we've seen about 3 flip throws from Escobar. This is, again, what drove Bobby Cox nuts. You know, right here, I'm sure Don right there. Might have tagged him. But again, either way, a lot of times when you drop your elbow, and we've seen a couple of flip throws, Escobar's got a really good arm. And he used to go on cruise control in Atlanta, and Bobby Cox says, I'll take Alex Gonzalez because I know he's a much more veteran. And they get a player down in Atlanta that obviously has more experience, and the Blue Jays get a young player with a world of talent.
And it's ruled an error on the throw, as Jim Henneman says. Here's Jake Fox pinch hitting for Markakis. So J.J. Hardy lifted for Angle. His 13-game hitting streak will end. He was 0 for 2 in his at-bats. Fox had a big hit last night.
Boy, what a sinker.
How dominant has Henderson Alvarez been? Through the first 6 innings, he faced 18 batters, and he faced 17 of those 18 batters from the windup with nobody on base. One batter from the stretch, and that was Tatum, who then hit into a double play to end the inning. There's a bouncer towards third. Laurie has it, goes to second, out there, back to first, and out there. Boy, nicely turned. 5-4-3 on a big hopper, and 2 men down. There's still time to entertain clients, colleagues, and more with a custom suite package at Oriole Park. Private suites are available, a variety of locations and packages, and offer your company a sophisticated, affordable way to make a statement. Now, to find out more, visit Orioles.com/suites, or to arrange for a private tour, call 410-547-6076. And there is Zach Phillips. Here's Adam Jones. And there's a strike.
Yeah, you're trying to make him bring the ball up, and he's not doing that. And that's what you try to do with somebody that has a great sinker. Getting power, 2-seam fastball, has a little bit of sink to it. And there's another one.
Well, I got 13 ground outs, 2 flyouts. And he would have had another ground out if Escobar made a good throw. One of those special nights where he's just putting it all together. Good fastball. Outstanding location. One hitter. And he hasn't walked a batter. He walked 2 in his last start, a loss against Tampa Bay last Friday. There's a bouncer towards the middle. It's going to be a tough play for Kelly Johnson, but he gets it there. Nicely done. And the Orioles go down in the 7th. So an error, none left. We'll head to the 8th. 13-0 Toronto. Coming schedule brought to you by Xfinity. Well, tomorrow the finale of the homestand, 12:30 game, O's Extra at noon, and then it's off to Tampa for the weekend. 7 o'clock on Friday, 6 o'clock on Saturday. We'll join you that night at 7:06, and then the finale on Sunday, and then it's off to New York for a 3-game series. Catch all the action with Xfinity only from Comcast. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get Xfinity today. Call 1-800-XFINITY. And as we go to the 8th, Jim, Zach Phillips comes on.
Yeah, again, coming over from AAA Round Rock earlier on. Nick Green went down there, and so again, through his minor league career, about 6 games under 500, pretty low ERA, just around 4 runs a game, and again, almost a strikeout per inning. So he did start 98 starts in the Texas organization, and again, if you're breathing and you're left-handed and you can get lefties out and throw strikes, you've got a chance to stay in the big leagues. Kind of interested to see how he performs, and again, he matches up well right here.
Here's Dwayne Wise, will pinch hit for Jose Bautista. So after a 3 RBI night, Bautista's out, and Wise goes right up the middle. You come off the bench, you get a base hit. Several defensive changes for the Orioles. Matt Engel, who pinch hit, stays in the game. He's in left field. That moves Nolan Reimold from left field to right field. Markakis is out of the game. Reynolds moves from first base to third base, forcing Robert Andino from third base to shortstop. And Jake Fox is now in the game at first. So the only player left on the Orioles bench is Matt Wieters, who was given tonight off.
Yeah, Mark Teahan is going to come in, and he's going to hit for Adam Lynn. Strong left-hander. We saw him with the White Sox earlier in the year.
So this is kind of fun to watch a youngster make his big league debut.
Yeah, of course, Wise just looked fastball, and he threw one right in the middle and hit it up the middle for a base hit. And we've seen a lot of balls in the middle of the plate tonight, and Toronto's taking advantage of it. 17 hits now. There's a good breaking ball.
And Phillips has 227 minor league games of experience. He's 24 years old. Good breaking ball there, and he strikes out Teahan.
Yeah, Teahan says, why me? And here's a good hook. Again, get ahead, throw it under the zone. It's exactly what he does.
Our Dodge Ram Expo brought to you by Ram Trucks, designed, tested, and proven to be the best trucks we've ever built. Ram. Here's Edwin Encarnacion, still in search of that triple. He doubled and scored in the second, singled and scored in the third, hit a 2-run home run in the fourth, and then struck out in the sixth. Too tight with a fastball, 1-1. That one's outside. So the deadline to make trades to be eligible for postseason is midnight. The Orioles made the one trade today with Michael Gonzalez going to Texas, and one of the things that it's kind of interesting what John Daniels and Nolan Ryan and the Rangers are doing, they have all those young starters that are coming up on their innings limit, and they still have the whole postseason they hope ahead. So they've gone out of their way to strengthen their bullpen, to have fresh arms in the bullpen, because it's very likely they're going to be needed night after night. This ball's ripped to left field down the line, and that ball's off the wall. Matt Engel will play it. Heading to third is Wise. He'll be held as Engel fires back into Andino.
Yeah, it was almost fan interference. Looked like somebody reached over. I don't know if they touched it. And again, hitters count, and boy, we've seen this a bunch tonight. I'm not sure if that almost is not home run. I think Wakamatsu is going to come out and argue it. We will have a replay right up here, because it looked like it might have got out of the ballpark.
Well, it definitely hit the wall. The question is, would it have hit the wall if not for the fan missing it?
Or is it over the wall and he reached over? And they're going to go look at it, as they should. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. Either way, it's not going to be a triple. Again, it's kind of, I don't know if you... It's hard to tell. I mean, he's reaching over, and it's right around the edge. I bet if he doesn't touch that ball, and it looks like he did it with his hat, it probably skips into the stands. Joe, it's not hard. Just go watch it.
And they're going to go watch it.
Yeah, come on. I mean, it's too close not to. I don't know if you can definitively change that call, but that's your job. You gotta go do it.
I don't think that ball would have gone in. Is it? See, to me, I mean, I know.
See, we're seeing the bottom of it right there. If
the illusion to me is the ball was sinking, and that's why it hit the top of the wall. So that's why I'm not certain, even though the fan
it was a hard
definitely
sinker.
reached
It
over.
was definitely a hard sinker.
So Matt Engel played the ball and got it back in. Time now for you to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game, and here are the candidates. Juan Encarnacion, 2 RBIs for the moment. Kelly Johnson, a big 3-run home run, or Henderson Alvarez on the verge of his first major league win. Text in your vote now and have your voice heard, A, B, or C, to 51862.
Yeah, I think I'm venturing to say they're not going to change it because I don't think it's definitively. You can't say that was a home run. Very close, though.
The replay equipment is set up right in the tunnel behind home plate, so the umpires don't have to go far. There's a couple of doors there, and then just beyond the door, you're in a mini hallway that leads to the umpire's room, and then right out towards home plate plaza. And they're coming back already.
He's just going to have to settle for a double. Yep.
Stay where you are.
Yep. Yeah, I just don't think there was enough. Let's look at it regular speed, and again, very, very close right here. It's just so hard to tell. It looked like that hat may have just been in below the wall. So pretty nice night anyway.
Yeah, it's his 4th hit. So 2 doubles, a single, a home run, 2 RBIs, and there's Kelly Johnson. So 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 8th inning. High pop, shallow left. Angle was deep. He's got speed. He'll charge in. And he's got it for the 2nd out. I think Brian Butterfield did something classy there by holding the runner.
Well, I don't think he down 13-0. You want to get a guy thrown out at home plate because he would have thrown him out. Even though there is good speed, just no reason to do it. But I agree with you. I will concur.
Concur with your concurrence.
Plus, you got Red Lowry coming up, and Lowry, he hit. Yeah, look at that average. That's in about what now? 25 games.
Yep, his 25th major league game tonight. A terrific trade for the Blue Jays. They did sacrifice one of their frontline starters in Sean Markham, but they got Milwaukee's top prospect. And Brett Lawrie is now the 3rd baseman for many years to come for Toronto.
And he's a native Canadian. I mean, that is huge.
Zach Phillips making his big league debut. He's had 80 games at the AAA level, but only 1 start. So the Rangers, which is an organization that has a lot of pitching prospect depth, they saw him more as a reliever because of the other arms that they had.
Yeah, they had a lot of power arms. Mark Connor, who came over as the Orioles pitching coach, at least for the first 60 games, he said you could just go down the list and see innings pitched and more strikeouts than innings pitched, which indicate that usually you have some guys that can get it up there.
And there's a walk. 2 down walk will load the bases. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So Phillips will have to get Molina without allowing a run. Bases loaded, 2 down. The Jays have out-hit the Orioles 18-1. And they have 8 runs driven in on 4 home runs. And a number back towards the mound. Phillips will get it to first. Molina's retired and the inning ends. So the Jays threaten do not score. They leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 13-0 Toronto. T-Mobility trivia fact. Entering tonight's game, Vladimir Guerrero had a .325 career batting average against the Blue Jays. And fact number 2, that is the 5th highest average in league history against Toronto, with a minimum of 300 at-bats.
Well, that's why he's got the numbers he has.
Highest averages against the Jays all time: Wally Joyner, Ichiro Suzuki, Hall of Famer Robin Yount, Hall of Famer Wade Boggs, and then Vladimir.
So you got 4 guys. I mean, you know that Ichiro is going to get to the Hall of Fame with 10 Gold Gloves and all those hits. Vladdy certainly looks like he's on track, and one of the dominant players of the last decade and a half.
0-1, hard hit ball. There's a base hit for Guerrero.
You know, I asked him.
Keep that average going.
I asked him today. I said, "You ever look for pitches? No, curveballs or whatever." He goes, "I see ball. I hit ball." And then that's what he does. Joe West knows that.
2 defensive changes for the Jays. Martin, who pinch hit for Adam Lind, stays in the game at first, and Dwayne Wise, who pinch hit for Bautista, stays in the game in right.
Yeah, Travis Snyder, a wrist problem. A lot of their outfielders struggling with injury, so they go out and get Dwayne Wise from the Marlins. You know, a veteran guy that's certainly going to give them some presence. They still want to finish over 500. And the Orioles obviously struggling to win tonight, but they have tomorrow to try to win that series.
Hard hit ball foul off the bat of Mark Reynolds.
Well, they finally have action in their bullpen because the pitch count, well, still pretty good. What is it, 88? Again, very, very efficient.
There's Rami Lewis, one-time Oriole prospect. 0-2 on Reynolds. Strike 3 called, and Reynolds knew it.
Yep. He did a little pirouette right into the dugout.
For every Orioles walk this season, CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Living Classrooms Foundation. To date, the Orioles have drawn 361 walks for a total of $18,050. CareFirst Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. And there's a hard hit ball foul from Robert Andino.
Well, it just shows you what good movement. I mean, yeah, there have been velocity, but a lot of guys throw 92, 93, 4, but not with this kind of sinking action. So good late movement. Obviously, it's hard to track. If you do, you hit the grounders. There's another one. There's a base hit there.
Nice job by Andino. He just slapped it to the hole.
Well, we always talk about when you're holding somebody on, the lefty can do it, so can right-handers. And this is exactly what he does here.
Most wins by players under 22 years old this year. Tyler Chatwood with 6. And now Henderson Alvarez looking to join the list. 21 years old, 0-2 so far. Out of Venezuela. Here's Nolan Reimold. Guerrero and Andino on with 1 down. Alvarez a little confused for the first time tonight. He's looked out there at second base and there's a runner.
Well, also you got to change the signs. The Blue Jays very active in the Latin America scouting. They just signed 9 players. Bonus value the 4th, 5th, 21st, and 23rd. I guess the largest bonuses. And once again, just a sinker that drops off the table. Nolan Reimold, good high ball hitter, looking for something up. And there's another one.
Reimold is down to the count 0-2. And down he goes. So Alvarez with another strikeout. That's his 5th, second this inning.
Yeah, he's just making his pitches, and again, great movement. This one down and away. You can see right on the outside portion of the plate. And the reason the ball down and away is the hardest. All you have to do is, it's the farthest place to go. You have to have the perfect swing. You have to have great balance. It's tough to reach.
Ryan Adams takes inside. Chris Jakabauskas is getting loose in the Orioles pen. And a ground ball towards short. There's Escobar. He'll flip to second for the force on the hustling Andino. Inning ends. 2 hits, 2 left. We'll head to the 9th. 13-0 Toronto. Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Number 8, Cal Ripken Jr.'s number out there. And there's Chris Giacomakis in here.
Yeah, nice job. Did give up a run in his last game against, about 4 days ago? I guess 3 days ago. Gave up a home run, but again, low ERA. Done a great job. A lot of strikes, quality strikes. Come up with a cutter. Last 21 innings, 3 earned runs. And then he's got the big overhand curveball, much more comfortable, as we've seen, out of the bullpen than when he was starting.
Mike McCoy does not have a base hit. He has been on base once with a walk. Every other Blue Jay has at least a hit. They have 5 multi-hit games in there as well. Andino from short, 1 away.
Take a look right here, 3rd inning, and all of a sudden it goes downhill for Jojo Reyes. And Molina gets a changeup to hit. A lot of good pitches hit. They don't miss him. Right here, ball gets by Reynolds. Encarnacion off of Ferguson. Batista off of Patton. 4 home runs on the night by the Jays.
Well, here is Yunel Escobar's had a huge night, 3 out of 5. Ground ball towards the middle. Andino back of the bag. Gets it across, and Fox can't scoop it. It should be a hit, but we'll wait for Jim Henneman.
Yeah, a long way to go, and of course he gets to it so easily. Not an easy play for Jake Fox because it's going to short hop him. And it goes straight up in the air.
Base hit is ruled by Jim Henneman, the official score.
So 19 hits.
Well, let's see. Escobar is a multi-hit game. Thames does. Adam Lind, Encarnacion, Kelly Johnson. So 5 of the 9 have multi-hit games, and 8 of the 9 have hits. And they also have a pinch hit.
Yep. Yeah, Dwayne Wise comes in, and we'll give Batista 2 because he hit in his place.
Slot, yeah. Okay, so 6 of the 9 spots have multi-hit games. Slow roller towards third, charging his Reynolds, took a funny hop, and he throws it away. Down the right field line, being held at third is Escobar. Reynolds was deep, and it took a funny hop, and then he rushed the throw to try to get the runner.
And it's probably a base hit and an error because the runner will advance. I don't think you can ever assume he's going to make this play because this is an easy one. Good throw has him. Of course, he hasn't played a lot of third base lately. Everybody kind of moving around with guys getting time off with the score the way it is. No, they gave him a hit and an error.
And there's a strike taken by Wise. So an infield hit, and then the error allowing the runner to advance. There's a tapper out in front of the plate. Tatum will have to go to first, and he gets him. So 2 down in the 9th inning. You can follow the Orioles with the MLB.com At Bat 2011 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. It scores, stats, highlights, live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, interactive maps of Oriole Park, and more. You can even check in at Orioles home games for the chance to win prizes, including upgraded seats. Text At Bat to 31826 or visit Orioles.com for all the details. Rami Lewis is still up in the bullpen. And here's Martin, who struck out, pinch hitting for Adam Lind in the 8th. And he rips this ball down the line, and that is foul.
I guess he was looking fastball. What do you think?
13 at one time was a top prospect with Kansas City. Originally, he was drafted by Oakland. He was a first-round pick in 2002, and as a minor leaguer, he was traded to Kansas City and never reached the potential that was expected. The Royals gave up on him. They sent him to Chicago, and he came over in that big trade in July, the three-team trade with the White Sox and the Cardinals. Broken bat fly ball to left. Angle, a long run, won't get there, and it's back out of play.
Yeah, a lot of doubles. And when he first came up, had some wrist injuries, and anytime you're a hitter, big strong guy, he's a big guy.
So Jakubowski gets ahead of him 0-2 with 2 on and 2 down. And down and in off speed pitch.
You have your Craig Tatum. You start this game, you're the backup catcher. They have missed his glove by feet tonight. You put the glove in, the ball would be away. You put it down, it'd be up. And again, that kind of senseless number sometimes. Well, you know, when so and so's behind the plate, the team ERA doesn't really give you a true indicator.
Well, he went too far on the check swing, as Paul Schreiber says so. So the strikeout ends it. 2 hits in error, no runs. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth, 13-0 Toronto.
Head to the bottom of the ninth with a 13-run deficit. This was an ugly night for the Orioles.
It really was. It was a laugher, but it was a laugher for the other team. And Jojo Reyes gets knocked out in the third inning, and just wasn't a very good night for him or really anybody coming out of the bullpen. One of those nights we'd like to put it behind us.
All right, we'll take a look back at it, but the bottom of the ninth, back to Jim and Jim.
All right, Amber and Rick, thanks very much. And here we go to the ninth inning. So 13-0, 20 hits on the night. And how about the night for the rookie, making his 5th big league start and 3 outs away from his first big league win?
Yeah, one of our keys, of course, was that when are you going to win that first one? Well, looks like it's going to be tonight, and so he has a chance. And he really, dominated the Orioles with his sinking fastball. Now, Rami Lewis comes on, had his contract picked up from AAA Las Vegas, and that was back on the 16th of August. 3 3/4 saves, ERA pretty high out there, over 6 runs a game. So the big lefty comes in. A rather big cushion.
For an inning of work. He was in the Orioles organization from 2001 through 2008.
Yeah, he's only faced 11 batters. Lefties 2 for 5, righties 2 for 6.
It was also the 2005 year when he didn't play and then he came back. And now 28 years old, he'll face Tatum leading off. He was a 4th round pick back in 2001 for the Orioles.
And as of now, with Talent release, the only left-hander in their bullpen. At the end of the day, whether you're the Blue Jays or the Orioles, when you bring in somebody to try to get left-handers out, you say, okay, is he as good as Boone Logan, the teams you're trying to beat? How do this guy compare to that guy on the Red Sox and the Yankees? And those are the important things.
There's a bouncer towards short. Escobar is there. And one down in the 9th inning. Here's an update on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game, and the fans love hitting. Edwin Encarnacion with 80% of the vote. Still time to vote. Text in A, B, or C to 51862. And the results on O's Extra Post Game coming up with Amber and Rick. Well, here's an interesting note. As the Blue Jays have 13 runs on 20 hits. It's the second game this season that the Blue Jays have had 20 hits in a game. There's the pitch to Angle, slap to left field, moving over is Eric Thames, and he won't get it. And it gets beyond him and goes to the wall. Angle heads to second, and he'll pull in with a one-out double. So Matt Angle in his second at bat gets a base hit.
And he's even playing that way, ball slicing away. That's what happens, lefty. The ball's just going to have that little left to right spin. Nice effort right there. Good speed. Can't quite get it over the glove. And again, when you're down by 13, 2's enough. Okay, so the second time they've
had 20 hits in a game. The other was July the 14th against the Yankees. In that game, Jojo Reyes was the winning pitcher for the Blue Jays, even though he gave up 7 runs. Well, with all that support, and here tonight as an Oriole against the Jays, he is in part giving up 20 base hits. He gave up 8 of them.
Yeah, we saw Ivan Nova of the Yankees do that against Kansas City. Gave up 7 runs and won.
It's kind of an interesting statistical quirk where the box scores of the 2/20 games of the season, Reyes will be on both for the opposite teams. In one he will be the winner, and the other he'll be the loser. Don Wakamatsu, the acting manager. The Blue Jays, after tomorrow's game, head to New York. They have a weekend series with the Yankees.
Yeah, they lost 3 out of 4 to Tampa Bay, and then came up here, lost last night. Even it's certainly a game they could have won. Both teams feeling that nice little fastball there under Jake Fox's hands. Made the club early on with 10, 11 home runs in spring training.
1-2 the count. Bounce towards third. Playing the hop is Laurie. And he gets Fox 2 down. He's got such a quick release.
Well, he did. I think he made a great read on it. Very rarely do you get to pick your hop at third base, but there he did. I think he was looking, okay, I'm not going to play this into a short hop, so he takes a step back. He knows who's running. It appeared that he knew was running. Trying to think who he reminds me of. I mean, again, I said as a hitter, maybe Jeff Bagwell as a third baseman, maybe Sal Bando, all those great A's teams. Sal, big, strong home run guy, but very compact.
Adam Jones 0 for 3. Would love to get a hit here to show up tomorrow feeling good about it.
Yeah, he was talking before the game, and maybe not tonight as much as other games. It's just a lot of pitches early on, chasing. Pretty much what April was about. Came into May hitting about 207, then hit 357 in the month of May. Much more selective, got good pitches to hit. That's what he wants to get back to.
Late on that breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
Oh, again, you play so much, you play long games. I mean, everybody has to go through this. He wants to hit 300, wants to drive in 100 runs, and a lot of times by doing that, and the 1-2 that Buck Showalter talks about, you actually try too hard. Or maybe you work too hard.
Strike 3 called, and that'll do it. So Jones down on strikes, and the Blue Jays polish off a 13-0 shutout of the Orioles to even up this series at a game each. So the rubber game will be out here tomorrow afternoon, and we hope you can join us for that game, the series finale. Tommy Hunter will be in the mound for the Orioles against Luis Perez. Our coverage begins at high noon on MASN HD with O's Extra, presented by Verizon Wireless, and then game coverage at 12:30. And now for